Alright guys, now let's cover the Superman elbow. So this is another one of those looks flashy type of techniques, but it's very practical and it's very effective. Also fairly powerful if you utilize it at the right time correctly, of course. So let's take a look at the mechanics. So as I'm squared up to my opponent, I'm going to kind of send my leg forward, initiating the pendulum action. Sometimes it's the leg forward with the heel to the inside, the toe to the outside. My kneecap is also looking to the outside. Sometimes it's the knee. Okay, it depends what range you're in, how you set it up. I'm going to talk more in depth about setups and follow-ups and elbow tactics, but not just the basic body mechanics. So let's say it's my leg, and then I throw the elbow and land. The landing part is very important. Okay, you'll see with the follow-ups, when you land, sometimes you actually land off to the side with a hook or another elbow or something like this. But for now, what I want you guys to master, what I want you guys to comprehend is that solid landing and a good base. Muay Thai is all about posture and keeping you balanced and breaking my opponent's balance. So you landing in a solid balanced position ready to follow up is super important. So again, the setup is the leg swings forward, initiating the pendulum action. Then as this leg swings back, it has to swing back on this 45-degree angle back. If it doesn't, what's going to happen, if it kind of swings behind me, it kind of twists me. I might not land all that twisted, but I'm definitely not going to land good. I'm going to land kind of like in line, which is not good for Muay Thai. Easily swept, easily countered, and it's hard for me to use my right side. So what I want to do is I want to swing. Okay, as I rotate my hip, as I internally rotate my hip actually, I'm sorry, the foot goes this way. Almost want to think of, like there was a movie scene with Brandon Lee back in the day where he was like fighting in some cafe in Brooklyn or something, and he punched one dude and he kicked the other dude. Obviously it was a movie, but I'm bringing it up right now to give you a point that it's an equal action, equal reaction both ways. Alright, so we're here, boom, and that's my landing. Okay, so if I do it a little bit faster, and then land. I want to land on two legs, equally balanced, so I can execute any attack, any follow-up from any direction. As far as the left Superman elbow, I generally don't use it from a conventional stance. I find it's not as powerful, it lacks power. The left Superman punch definitely works. It's not super powerful, but it's awesome at closing the range, awesome at surprising my opponent, and it helps me to set up a follow-up, no question about it. The left Superman elbow, however, I feel like it lacks power, lacks range, and potentially exposes me to my opponent's counter and does me more harm than good. So the only time I do it when I'm a southpaw, which personally I train both sides all the time, not just for Muay Thai, but all the other martial arts that I do, Filipino martial arts and such. And so I train both leads all the time, and I'm fairly comfortable in the right lead forward. So in the right lead forward, the setup is very similar to, obviously, the opposite side. Your leg swings. Lots of times my arm will extend at the same time. I'm going to throw an elbow and land on all twos, ready to follow up. Although, as you see in elbow tactics, actually a lot of times I'll land to the side offline with another attack. But for now, in the basic section, what I want you guys to get comfortable with is landing solidly after your attack, so you don't land somehow sideways, losing your balance and stuff like that. So if I show it with my partner, all right, just a basic setup. We're not going to talk too much about setups, but maybe I'll kick his leg once or twice, and then I'll fake it and come through, and then land. All right, again, lots of times the follow-up will actually bring me to the side, but for now, in the basic section, if you're just studying the mechanics of the Superman elbow, what I want you guys to do is land in a position where you're strong and powerful and able to have a good base. Alright, if I would be a southpaw, it doesn't matter if you're southpaw or not. Okay, if I would be a southpaw, same setup and landing. Landing solid so I can drive my opponent and I can, create power from my position. If we switch sides, as we're switching sides, I'm going to bring up another a point that I mentioned in prior elbow tutorials, basic elbow tutorials, that don't think just because my elbow is a lateral elbow or a diagonal elbow, it has to necessarily land on the, let's say, this side of his face. That's not the case at all. I can, if he shows up, my Superman elbow can burst in between his guard. So don't think of this as necessarily as always a lateral impact. It's not this. The elbow snaps forward. So that's what I'm thinking of. It's like, boom. It's like I'm casting like a wrecking ball forward. That's the energy that I'm putting into my Superman elbow. So with that in mind, just a little bit stronger guard, Brent. I'm not gonna go super hard, but I just don't want to elbow you. So a little bit stronger guard. Okay, so I'm here and boom. So my elbow is actually going forward. Did you notice? Again, it wasn't super hard, but I want you to notice the energy of what happens to his body when I impact him. Okay, boom. You see? I'm using deliberately right now for safety wider part of my forearm. It will be concentrated a little bit more on the tip, but the point is, this time it's going to be slow and not that much impact. The point is that my impact is going forward on the elbow, all right, not to the side. There's a much less likelihood of me missing and being exposed. In other words, it's not, you see, obviously, you know, it's not good. Same thing would be for southpaw. So if I'm facing him as a southpaw, fake elbow and then land in a good position so I can follow up from there and be in a solid position to work him from here. So one more time. Right elbow, left elbow. Left, right. And this is your Superman elbows. Very powerful, very deceptive attacks. Good score.